So you know how like when you hear a word for the first time and then all of a sudden you hear it all over the place?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of that's been happening to me with Kraftwerk. Never heard of them before we did that episode. And now that I've heard of them, I've been hearing them all over the fucking place. It's unfucking real.
It's German, yeah.
I did not realize like how influential those guys were.
Oh yeah, they're incredibly influential. They're probably the most famous band to come out of that whole era of German music, and they don't sound much like it.
Well, and I guess it's because like modern day like electronic music samples a lot of their shit.
Oh yeah, a lot of early hip hop loved to sample Kraftwerk too. So you can hear it in a lot of like early sample heavy, more meant to be danced to than rapped over like hip hop from like the 80s.
Wow, it's just like okay, I did not realize that. Okay,
yeah.
So it's weird, man.
It is weird. I'm a little surprised you hadn't heard of them, honestly.
Yeah,
because usually when like oftentimes like in the Gong Farmer days, people would ask us what we're doing, and I would just be like, I don't know, combine Kraftwerk and the Ramones.
All right,
let's do the shit. Welcome to Side 1, Side B. I'm Dave.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Sean. I'm Side C.
C for cock.
Head.
Yes. And we're doing an EP episode today, and Sean brought it. Sean, what do you got for us?
I got Fugazi.
Fugazi. Hey, I'm Fugazi here.
Hey.
Their name makes me want a big bowl of pasta.
I think one of their members was Italian, not the one who named the band.
Probably the second singer.
Yeah, Guy.
I don't know what his name is. I'm actually pretty terrible.
I can do some of the research type stuff then. Main source for this
is Wikipedia.
No. I will look
good.
it up to make sure I get some details right as I go. But main source for this is my main source for a lot of 80s punk bands, although they are more of a 90s band, but they started in the 80s.
Well, yeah, this was actually their first release. It came out in the like 88, 89.
Yep, 88.
It was 7 songs on. It's not called 7 songs.
That's what fans call it.
But everyone called it 7 songs later on. So what do you know about Fugazi, Steven?
I just know that a lot of metal bands like Fugazi. I haven't actually dug into them myself.
Okay, so Fugazi was kind of... I'm going to say it like that all the time.
Fugazi
was the kind of the after effect of this hardcore punk band called Minor Threat. So Minor Threat was Ian MacKaye, and it was the DC hardcore scene.
Yeah.
And Ian MacKaye and like 4 guys were in Minor Threat, and then... Actually, if you kind of listen to Minor Threat's like later stuff, it kind of
starts to sound
kind of like early Fugazi, and then they broke up, and Ian MacKaye
was done with hardcore.
He was completely done with that scene.
He stopped calling himself straight edge, even though he never started drinking and smoking. He just didn't like the label anymore.
Yeah. And he's the one, he kind of invented the whole straight edge scene, which was they didn't drink, smoke, or fuck.
But at least they could fucking think.
Yeah. And
Ian MacKaye got sick of the preachiness of it, even though he contributed to
they were the guys that would have X's on their hands. You know?
Which did start off as they were a bunch of teenagers playing at bars and they needed to be let in. So, like, Fugazi was the ones who told the bouncers, "Hey, we're playing tonight. Just draw X's on our hands so they know not to serve us at the bar." And that's how that started. My main source for this, I think I trailed off earlier, is a book called Our Band Could Be Your Life, which is about the 80s underground scene. So, like, it has a nice long chapter on Fugazi, which is good.
Yeah. And, yeah, so then after Minor Threat disbanded, he formed Fugazi, and
he started playing guitar too, because he didn't play guitar. He didn't play an instrument. He was just the singer in Minor Threat.
Yeah, and I actually, in my own like little like thing, I actually heard Fugazi before I heard Minor Threat. I actually first heard it in Iraq. Funny enough,
that's funny.
Someone sent me 13 songs, which was this EP. And the next EP smashed together and was their quote-unquote first album.
Yeah. But yeah, like Ian recruited a friend of his, Brendan Canty, to play drums. And then they were looking for a bass player. And they went to a show and they saw a guy join another band. I forget which band, but like join another band on stage to cover Pay to Come by Bad Brains. And this guy wasn't playing bass, but he was singing Pay to Come, which is one of the fastest songs ever written. And when he like hit all the vocals perfectly, Ian was like, I don't know if you play bass, but if you have that kind of rhythm, you can learn it for Fugazi. And I don't remember if he already played it or not, but yeah, he basically got an audition without knowing it by singing, not playing bass. But then like their third member, like on this album, he just does, or their fourth member, on this album, he just does vocals, but he would also play guitar on like every release after this. Like, this other guy's original idea was to have him be kind of like a hype man, like kind of like a Flavor Flav type of figure in a punk band.
Yeah.
And just kind of like be there as, you know, kind of like sing back up, hype up the crowd, that type of thing.
We should get a hype man for our band.
We should. That's a dying act. But his name was Guy Picciotto.
Yeah, so he is Italian.
And before he was in Fugazi, he was in a band called Rites of Spring, which was a hardcore band that started focusing more on, you know, like emotional breakup songs. So he was the one who started emo. So the guy who started straight edge and the guy who started emo formed this band, and it is neither hardcore punk nor like hardcore straight edge punk or emo. It's a lot like groovier.
It's kind of like a alternative hard rock almost. It sounds more 90s like rock. This is where like hardcore punk starts to make that transition to 90s sounding music.
Yeah, this is generally what people mean when they say post-hardcore.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like really what was bringing in to like bridging the gap between hardcore punk and 90s alternative.
Yeah. So it's really interesting that, because when I first heard it, I didn't know when it came out, and I thought it was like a mid-90s album.
Yeah. But, oh, yeah, Steve, you know that famous picture I sometimes show you of Fugazi playing live, and they're like in a high school gymnasium, and there's the guy hanging upside down from the basketball hoop?
Yeah.
That's Guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I think he's the guy on the cover that's like doing a backflip.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the EP here. We'll start with the cover. The cover is like a kind of a almost crimson red, and then there's a photo of, is that Ian MacKaye?
No,
that's Guy.
Oh,
Guy,
that is
Picciotto.
Guy doing a like backflip.
I don't know if it looks like they're on stage. You can see a Marshall stack in the background.
I do like
there's a shoe in the front there.
Yeah. I do like the interplay between Guy and Ian's guitar. I do feel like their live show missed something when they stopped having a guy like doing cartwheels on stage and hanging from basketball hoops.
If you turn it over, there's a picture of them sitting at like a diner.
Yeah.
And Ian MacKaye is the guy that's in the, or is that Guy? I can't see it from here. Oh, that is Guy. Guy is the first guy right there.
Guy is the guy.
Guy is the guy.
But yeah, a lot of Henry Rollins stories about being a teenager working at Haagen-Dazs or at that pet store in D.C. is when he was hanging out with Ian MacKaye, because they were best friends. I think they're still like really close, but they were best friends. And then Henry moved to LA to join Black Flag.
I remember him telling the story about working at like the pet store and they'd like fling fish like between the drywall or whatever, and like
the dead fish.
Yeah, they came back and asked about it like years later, and the owner like gave him like the stink eye basically.
Well, it had like turned into a nice Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
And they went there and got some pasta, and they're like, "Hey, when we were kids, this place was a pet store. Did you find anything in the walls when you were renovating?"
Yeah.
Ian MacKaye was the one that convinced Rollins to join Black Flag. Henry Rollins was kind of like, I remember him telling a story on some documentary I was watching where he was kind of like, I don't know, man, because it was a big move at the time for him, because he was basically changing coast, and Ian MacKaye's like, you'd be stupid not to do it, dude.
Yeah.
So then he did it.
And it was, Ian was right.
Yeah. And they also had a really DIY ethos, too. Just even at the end, they never signed to a major label, even though they had like tons of offers to sign to a major label.
Yeah.
They always stayed on their own Discord label, right?
Yeah.
And they never charged more than $5 for a concert.
And I think they like broke up in what, like 98, 2000, that era?
Yeah, it was like 2000, 2001 or something like that. And they released like one more album like that. And they never said they broke up. They said they've been on hiatus.
They're still on hiatus.
Yeah, for 20 some years. So
I think one thing Ian did during the hiatus was he went over all of the crowd recording of the Kent State shooting and actually was able to isolate some vocals showing that an order was given to fire on the protesters. Too late for anything to have been done about that, but yeah, that's the kind of thing he does. And yeah. Like really like principled activist type, and there is no way you can get like officially licensed Fugazi merch because they never sold it. You can get officially, for the longest time you couldn't get any official Minor Threat merch, but at one point Ian got sick of being the one who would have to check in on that, so he allowed some company to do it so they would look after the copyright for the merch, and he said, "Don't buy this."
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot there. People bootleg them all the time, so yeah. So yeah, because they're, like I said, their ethos is very DIY and not trying to get rich off of it.
Yeah,
if you wanted to argue one band never sold out, you could say
Fugazi and Minor Threat.
Yeah,
Ian MacKaye. Yeah.
All right, well, back to the EP. So I'm looking here. It was recorded at Inner Ear Studios in June of '88. Produced by Ted Nicely and Fugazi. Engineered by Don Zientara. Cover photo by Adam Cohen. Inner photo by Glenn Friedman. Graphics by Kurt S.
Kurt Satan.
First side, we got Waiting Room, Bulldog Front, Bad Mouth, and Burning.
And you'll notice as we listen to it, but they switch lead vocals every other time. So it's Ian Guy.
Okay. The band is Joe Lowley, and it doesn't say what positions they are. So
yeah, Joe is bass.
Yeah.
And then we've mentioned Guy and Ian MacKaye already. And then Brendan Canty.
Drums.
And yeah. So I think that's... you said this was released on their own label, Discord Records, and all right, I think that's all the background that we need. So, we ready to put this on?
Yeah, let's
absolutely.
do it.
All right.
Ba, 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 ba.
And we're back. I'm going to open up a beer to Fugazi.
I was going to say, pass me a beer, man.
Yeah. Sean and I know this album, or this EP pretty well, but Steve, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it. It had a whole bunch of different elements of like alternative bands that came after them. So it's kind of like hearing almost a genesis of it, because all the grunge guys are listening to this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so, yeah, I heard a bit of like all the grunge bands that I like. Like there was a moment that reminded me of Soundgarden, a moment that reminded me of Alice in Chains, and a moment that reminded me of Nirvana and Melvins and all those guys. So
I know we're not listening to them right now, but there's another band that if you really want to hear some grunge Genesis, like really crazy listening to them, check out Fang. Go find Land Shark. And it came out in like 1982, and you're like, I would swear this came out in Seattle in the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah. And I think like the two different vocalists, like their voices sound different enough, and they both bring a lot of emotion in. I think bringing the guy who started emo in really helped, like also then push the other guy into like really like, you know, like using his sense of melody, like and really putting like a lot of like passion into the vocals. Like, I think having the guy from Rites of Spring really elevated the vocals as a whole, even though I tend to like the Ian songs more.
Yeah, because I like Ian's songs is better because I was hesitant to buy Minor Threat because I liked Ian's songs better, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd like a whole album of the other guys.
Yeah.
So I didn't, because at the time I didn't have internet really. So I'm like, I don't know which one's which. I knew one of them was in Minor Threat, and I knew one of them was the lead singer in Minor Threat. I didn't know which one was which. So I was like, I wanted to get one of them. But yeah. So you did like it then, Steve? Or
yeah, and build onto the vocalist thing. One of the vocalists reminded me of like a lot of the later like punk bands, like the skate punk bands. I thought, and I'm guessing that was Guy.
Which first guy or the second guy?
I think it was the guy who sang lead on the first or the second song, basically?
I want to say the second song.
Okay, yeah, that would be Guy. Yeah.
The guy that is singing the last song is burning in my eyes. Yeah.
And I think part of the reason why I tend to like the Ian stuff more is I think I liked the hardcore side more than the emotive side when I was first getting into this band, but I think the melding of the two is what makes it great. So
yeah, I noticed that. I think it's probably because he's primarily a singer. I've noticed through many listens of both like this album and Repeater. I also think I have a Steady Diet of Nothing as well.
Good one,
which is a really good album. And I find that Guy is more lyric heavy.
Yeah.
And Ian is more riff heavy.
Yeah.
And it's his song.
I think that's right. Yeah. Yeah, even listening to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, beyond just the vocals, I thought the drumming was really good. Like it had a good like propulsive stomp to it. The bass was like nice and agile and had like a great groove to it throughout all 4 songs. And the guitar work was combining like the ideas from hardcore with like I don't know, kind of like psychedelic rock in some places.
Yeah, especially
Burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to do song by song, Steve?
Yeah, so Waiting Room I thought reminded me more of like a typical hardcore song, I thought.
Yeah, I like it. It was a career-defining song. Like this being the first track of the first EP really kind of like kicked them off as a group. This one, like I love like the kind of like very agile, you know, kind of like groovy, you could almost dance to it bass, but with kind of like a heavy guitar. I liked the pause at the beginning where it just like pauses for a really long time and then just comes back more intense, like a Waiting Room. But yeah, like lyrically it is, yeah, it's about waiting for what you're doing to take off, waiting for something to happen, like feeling like stuck in a sense of stasis. And it does a good job at like building the tension of waiting and then like a kind of release too. Yeah. Like it's my favorite song on this side, but also my favorite song on the whole EP, and it's my second favorite song from the band.
Yeah. It's actually not my favorite song by them. So like the psychedelics, that I do like that psychedelic breakdown that it does where it goes that part.
Yeah.
And then it kicks back into the yeah.
I noticed that the guitars, I think, were double tracked in a way to make them sound a little more, I want to say like discordant a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely. And he does like a little, he's like palm muting it like heavily to like give it that like tripling. Yeah. So yeah, grooving.
Yeah. A lot of like 90s skate punk, 90s and 2000s skate punk guitar draws a lot from this approach to like all the palm muting and the, yeah.
So like hardcore, they did do palm muting and stuff, but they take those elements of hardcore and slowed them down like way down. So it's like that defining song or sound from hardcore slowed down way down. So yeah.
Yeah.
So Bulldog Front.
Bulldog Front.
I thought this one had more like an alternative type sound, like a little lighter than the previous song.
Yeah. Started quiet.
Yeah. If I remember right, this is probably my least favorite song on the EP. It's still a great song, but it's probably my least favorite.
Yeah. I liked how it, like would start quiet and then like crashed into something louder, but other songs also did that too. I thought the end of it sounded a lot like Drain You by Nirvana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this had like some great guitar work from Ian on it too. Like this was an indication that this just wasn't going to be Minor Threat 2.0.
Yeah.
That it was going to be something different. And I think that is cool and an important way to establish that by doing that with the second song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a thesis statement kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, Steve. It does sound very alternative-y and that dynamic of loud, quiet, loud,
Yeah.
And then
Badmouth. I liked the vocal melody on it a lot. You can't be what you were.
This is actually my favorite song on this side, and actually probably my favorite song on the EP.
The guitar work on this one, it was kind of drony and like kind of reminded me of Soundgarden a little bit.
Yeah.
I like the
This one was very much riff forward over lyric forward. So yeah.
I think the reason I like this is because of where I heard it first. So it might have something to do with that. So yeah, that might be why I like it so much. But yeah.
It was a good build in intensity too. Like the guitar work was fantastic.
And I always like you're always talking shit now.
Yeah.
Then the next one, Burning, I liked how sludgy this song was.
Yeah.
And it had like a really thick bass and I think they were using kind of the same double track technique they were doing with the guitar to make it sound a little thicker and a little well, I said discordant earlier, so I guess we'll keep with that.
Yeah.
I think making the bass thick was a very good choice for this because the guitar is like all over the place in a good way, but it's doing like a lot of like kind of psychedelic type, like burning type, the kind of guitar work that you think of when you think of lighting things on fire. And so the bass really needed to pick up that punch there. So I think that was a good choice.
I do want to say on this listen to, I actually like this song a little bit more than I normally do.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it was just listening to it, like it starts off a little quieter and just keeps building in intensity and building and building and building. And I like that. So I don't know. I haven't listened to this EP in a long time or 13 songs in a long time. So actually this listen to, I enjoyed this song a lot more this time.
This was my favorite drum work on the side, I think. Like it had like a good like primal stomp to it.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys thought the same thing, but yeah.
Yeah, this one stood out to me more than it usually does. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be my favorite on this side. Either that one or Badmouth.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm listening to it on a different format than I usually listen to it as well.
It could be part of it, yeah.
Because I normally listen to it on CD, so
yeah.
So yeah.
All right, yeah.
All right, next side.
Next side.
Give me a cure. Suggestion.
Oh, yeah.
and Glueman. And that is Guy, Ian, Guy for the lead vocals.
All right, here we go. And we're back.
And we're back from the second side of 7 songs, which is not the real name, but Fugazi's self-titled EP, self-titled debut, Fugazi. It's a spicy Fugazi.
Baba da boopy.
So what did you think of Fugazi, Steven?
It's interesting how this entire record reminds me of like all sorts of different alternative groups that were coming around in like the same era. Like there's a point where the bass got really funky that I wanted to compare it. At first I was like Red Hot Chili Peppers, like Flea, and then I thought, oh, I could hear like, I don't know, Rage Against the Machine covering this song, which we'll talk about it more when we get to it. But,
yeah, this is definitely one of those favorite bands.
Well, yeah. And I looked at the Wikipedia page for them, and like they have like this entire like giant paragraph full of people that they influenced.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of people that you would expect too. Yeah.
Was Rage Against the Machine on there?
I don't think they were on there, but they were.
There's
a lot of like noisy or alternative bands from like the mid '90s were on the list. Yeah. Like Tool was on there.
Well, that doesn't.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
There's a song on their next album called Repeater. The album and the song. The song Repeater sounds very Rage Against the Machine.
That might be that. I think that one is my all-time favorite song by the band too.
Yeah, that's actually was. I was gonna say that is probably my favorite song. 1, 2, 3, Repeater. Anyways, sorry. We're not talking about
Repeater. We're talking about 7 songs,
aka Fugazi.
I noticed this side wasn't quite as heavy as the other side.
No, yeah, this one was a little more experimental.
I was gonna say at one point, like the noisy guitar work, like kind of reminded me of that Dinosaur Jr. record that you brought in at one time.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they were all part of like the same scene too. Yeah. Dinosaur Jr., another band fronted by a straight edge guy that sounds like he smokes a lot of pot by the music he makes. Yeah.
All right. Well, the first song.
Square off right here.
Meow, meow, meow.
All right. The first track, "Give Me a Cure." This one had like a cleaner guitar than any of the songs on the first side.
Yeah.
I joked that
until it didn't.
Until it didn't.
Yeah, until it didn't.
Yeah.
Dave and I joked that like this song should be covered in like a Cure style with like Robert Smith style vocals. Like it would totally work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think the guitar at the beginning reminded me a lot of Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. Then it kicks off at the end where they're both screaming, "Give me a shot."
Yeah, I really liked the way this one built up. Like, this side might not have been as heavy as the first side, but by the end of the song, it was as heavy as
the first side.
Yeah,
it does have like the cleanest guitar probably on the whole album at that beginning part. Yeah. Steve,
I think this is my favorite Guy song on this record.
Yeah, probably. Like I said though, like Burning actually hit different this time I listened to it, so I don't know. I would have if you would have asked me like yesterday, I would have said, "Oh yeah, give me a Cure" is probably my favorite Guy song on this album. But anyways,
yeah,
actually, my favorite Guy song on 13 songs is one that's not even on this. It's Provisional.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Anyways.
We'll do a Repeater at some point.
Well, no, Provisional's on 6 is on the other.
Oh yeah,
is on 13 songs.
Yeah, on the
full length one.
On the full length on the next EP. Yeah. But yeah, this is a great song. The next song is Suggestion, which is arguably the most important song on the record, and I'll get into that some after we talk about it as a song itself. Like Waiting Room might be the most important one, but there's a case to be made for Suggestion, which I'll get to later. But as the song itself, I think it's a great song. The lyrics are about a woman being catcalled, told from the perspective of the woman until the end, which we'll get into more later when I talk about why this is an important song. Bass had a nice funky groove, kind of like a Faith No More song, I thought.
Yeah. This is the one I thought sounded like it could be covered by Rage or Chili Peppers or something.
The snare, the snare hit sound was huge. The guitar solo gave it like a nice spike of energy right when it needed it.
Yeah, I said it grooves like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I like the part where it kind of quieted down for a little bit and like the drums got jazzier.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Doors-esque type moment, like, because the Doors would do that, like, really, like, bring it down now. You know.
Ride the snake.
Yeah, like, we're going to do a long improvised Jim Morrison on acid moment.
Yeah. And I do think it's interesting, like, how much a lot of punk bands were influenced in, like both CCR and the Doors. Like, those were those were the dad bands of choice of this generation of songwriters. Yeah.
Not to spoil, but we're going to do a mixture of dad bands. No, just kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought why I say this is that can be argued as the most important song on the record was the reason why one of the reasons why Ian got disgusted with hardcore and left to do his own thing is he didn't like the whole macho factor of it. He didn't like, like big beefy guys groping women who tried to come to shows and how then women stopped coming to shows. He didn't like how like the pit would just be like large sweaty dudes slamming against each other and like crowding out like smaller people, especially women, and like making like the environment much more hostile and like taking the community out of punk rock and just turned it into like aggro dudes slamming into each other. And like what he was trying to do like with this and like by doing a song about catcalling is he was trying to make punk rock like a more like inclusive space for all kinds of people and to change like the like pit culture into being like, hey, we look out for each other, we have fun, we dance around, we get aggressive and slam into each other, but when you see someone fall, you pick them up. And I think this song was a good one to mark that kind of turning point. And it was like a thoughtful look at how to make punk rock into more of a space where people swing their fists around, run at each other, bump into each other, but when you see someone fall, you pick them up. If you see someone groping someone, you kick the groper's ass and throw them out of the show. Like that type of thing. And I think this song, and they would like stop songs if they saw like people groping like they'd stop like the whole set and like would like kick people out of the show when they saw them groping each other. And like you can find like live recordings of them, like talking to some of like the tougher hardcore guys and kind of like dressing them down, making fun of them and like saying, hey, I saw you before the show. You were eating an ice cream cone. How tough can you be? You're just like a normal guy eating an ice cream cone. Don't try to ruin things forever, like that type of thing. And so like, I think this song is what really brings forward that and was like what really changed punk rock into what people started to think of it as, like starting in the 90s as more of a space for everyone. And yeah, that's my case why it might be more important than Waiting Room. I do want to go through the kind of like the quieter part where he goes back to his own POV at the end, because I think those lyrics are really good. She does nothing to deserve it. He only wants to observe it. We sit back like they taught us. We keep quiet like they taught us. He just wants to prove it. She does nothing to remove it. We don't want anyone to mind us, so we play the roles that they assigned us. She does nothing to conceal it. He touches her because he wants to feel it. We blame her for being there, but we are all guilty.
Yeah.
That was a cultural turning point for punk rock as a whole. And yeah, why I love this song and why this song's so important. Probably second favorite on the EP.
Yeah. It's a good song. It really is. Like I remember listening to it the first time and being like, "Whoa, man, it blew my mind."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great song, which goes into my least favorite
Yeah,
song.
Glueman is there. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It had interesting guitar work for the intro, I thought.
Yeah, it was much more effects driven than all their other songs on here, and I feel like they got better at doing that kind of effects and feedback stuff as they kept going. I feel like if they had revisited this song a little later, maybe there's like some live tracks of them doing it as a 2-guitar band. It would have been a better song, but I also think maybe they needed to do it like this to figure out how to move in these directions more and do this kind of song better as they kept going.
Yeah, I did like Steve was saying, I like the guitar work and the sludgy bass work. It stands out as like my least favorite song on 7 fantastic songs.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's a great EP. There's a reason I brought this EP because I think they're all fantastic songs. So it stands out as my least favorite song of 7 great songs. So
one thing that I think is noteworthy is these last 2 songs were each over 4 minutes. The average Minor Threat song was about 50 seconds.
I know. Yeah, I know. Like I think Straight Edge is like 41 seconds long.
Yeah. And so like this was like him maturing and learning how to write songs much different too. And so like, yeah, this is like a good song on a great EP basically.
Yeah, it was like a really good listen. I can see why a lot of bands that I respect cite them as an influence.
Yeah. But yeah, any final closing thoughts?
I take off my clothing every night.
Yeah. I hate
naked
sleeping
under these clothes, Dave.
I hate sleeping in my jeans, so I have to get naked every night.
Yeah, me too. I watch you get naked too, Dave. Every night.
I thought I unplugged the cat camera.
Not well enough, Dave.
Yeah.
My final thoughts, listen to more Fugazi. I think they have like 9 albums. So
yeah, they worked hard.
They were uber productive, and I don't think I've really heard a bad album by them. I know I haven't heard all their albums, but every album I've listened to has been a fucking killer album. So
yeah. Oh, one more Ian MacKaye straight edge story. Apparently, they're like long after he stopped identifying as straight edge, people would see him like drinking a coffee or a Coke and would tell him that caffeine isn't straight edge, and he would tell them to fuck off.
That's such a dick move. Like,
it really is. Like,
just let him enjoy his fucking Coke and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, that was Fugazi's self-titled EP.
AKA 7 songs.
Hey.
Hey, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Peace out, motherfuckers.
Side 1, Side B is a Floof Goof Studios production. Please check out the description for more information about the guests and the album reviewed. You can find us on Bluesky under the names Kill Rock Music, that's KILRAVOCK, and Dave under Beastmaster General. You can find us on Instagram under Kill Rock Music SWS and Dave_Diction. And you can also find our regular contributor Sean under the name Boozer Slug. You can find Steve and Sean on Threads with the same usernames as Instagram. Check out our post-punk band The Alliterates, our experimental group Lucid Fugue, and Steve's solo project Kill Rock on most major streaming platforms. You can visit Steve's website, killrockmusic.com, for easy access. That's KILRAVOCK music.com. And if you want to check out Dave's past band Gong Farmer and their album Pop Dada, you can do so on Bandcamp. Thanks.
Ejaculate and leave.
Fugazi.
Fugazi!
Fugazi.
Hey, I'm Fugazi here.
Hey.